commercial real estate.
Uh-huh.
I think it's very widespread knowledge now that commercial real estate will generate returns if done intelligently. That's the narrative on the internet, at least.
Just to add to that, it will generate good monthly returns, annuity. But commercial real estate make growth. Like let's say I buy a space which is worth 100 rupees today. In 3 years, the chances of that space ka value increasing from 100 rupees to let's say 130 or 150 rupees is not there.
That's there with the residential.
That's there with the residential. Because residential ka kya hota hai, let's say apartments are coming up in that area and then suddenly the social ecosystem also develops, then the livability aspect goes up. Let's say a good school has come up in that, right? Matlab more school going kids ka parents would want to move into that area. Matlab the demand has gone up. So hence the growth aspect in terms of asset value growth comes more in residential. Commercial you don't get because it's stable. See, commercial ka return is in terms of value, like asset growth purely comes as a rental yield. Let's say, because another thing with residential real estate is the aspect of you can live in it. That's a value, right? You can live in it. It provides shelter. That's a very tangible value. Commercial real estate mein who lives? Let's say the tenant has vacated. There's no aspect of living in it. So hence commercial real estate's value only changes if the rental value suddenly change. And rental value don't change overnight. They're very stable that way. And they don't fall also overnight. Whereas residential real estate, because of third place infrastructure like schools, breweries, or any recreational spaces suddenly can go up. So it's
there's pros and cons on both sides.
Pros and cons on both sides, yes.
So for the rental yield investment game, commercial real estate is a good idea. And for this asset-oriented game of real estate, residential...
Growth-oriented.
Yes. Growth-oriented.
Yes.
So if you want to say, okay, ek din akka Mumbai apun ka hoga.
Then it's resi.
Go after the residential areas.
Yes.
Damn, intelligently.
Yes, intelligently, yes.
One for the girls. So, anyway, my point is you need to have clarity on what you're doing, right?
Yes.
Let's come back to this commercial real estate angle.
Mm-hmm.
Could you expand on the mathematics of this rental yield through commercial real estate a little bit more? Mm-hmm. If I buy an office space for 100 rupees, of course, I'm sure the story is different for Mumbai versus Gurgaon versus Hyderabad. Let's talk about minus Mumbai. I think the Mumbai market is too saturated and expensive. Honestly, that's my reading. Please correct me if you disagree.
That analogy is correct on the residential side, not on the commercial side. Commercial side, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Delhi, anywhere it's the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's not much difference. I'll tell you why also. Because commercial real estate ka value purely depends on the rental yield. So if there's a 80 rupees ka rent, the value is determined on that. And unlike in residential real estate, where if you look return on rental yield is 2.5%, in commercial real estate, it's almost 7 to 8%. And in commercial agreements, whenever you're leasing a space, you see that there's always 4 to 5% increment in rent every year, right? So that you add this 7 to 8% rental rate plus that 4 to 5% of increment in rent, that comes up to 12 to 13%.
So roughly over 10 to 15 years, it becomes profitable?
A commercial, let's say, okay, I'll give an, let's say if I'm investing in commercial real estate, how I would do. I'll first take my 100 rupees, buy a leased space wherein the return rate is anywhere around 6 to 8%. 8 is very desirable, but sometimes if the tenant is very good, you end up getting 6.5%. Let's say Google has, you're buying a fraction of the space where Google has leased. So you stability of rents, right? So 6.5 to 7%, let's say I got it. And then what I would do is, this is a physical asset, right? I can definitely, in case I want to increase my IRR. So what do? I will pledge this out. And the bank will give it, because it's leased to a good tenant, the bank will give me 70-75% of the value back. So my investment in that would only be 25-30%. The rest 70% I would take back my equity and go do with other investments. And the rent and this will probably, with a variance of 2 to 3 percentage points, it will match. Over a span of time, that rent would be paid off. From the rent will pay off the interest and I'll have the asset to myself. So yes, it will become profitable for you after 6 to 7 years. Then the interest part, the loan is paid off, and then that becomes like a monthly income.
Who usually buys commercial real estate in India? Rich people?
Yes.
That's effectively who?
Yes. It's where, there's more financial surplus. Yes.
Okay.
Now, using the REITs, a lot of younger age people are also able to participate, because instead of like buying with 2 crore, 3 crore, I'll go and buy a REIT which is like 500 rupees, and I'll get uska worth ka, whatever that's 7 to 8% of that, I'll get as a monthly payout or yearly payout, quarterly, whatever is the conditions.
So if you have 2-3 crores worth of money, a good idea is to go for this commercial real estate.
Yes. And you want to invest, you want to enjoy a monthly income from the 2-3 crores. Yes, commercial real estate is very good. You want to play an aggressive game where the 2-3 crores go in, like, let's say 5 years, you want to make it 5 crores. Then I would pick the residential game. So it depends on which, aspect you want to pick. Real estate as income or real estate as value growth.
What I'm visualizing is these old rich uncles who worked hard throughout their life and now have kids who don't work hard. They'll buy commercial real estate and give it to those kids.
Yes.
Is this what happens?
In fact, yes, it happens. And I keep telling my dad that, he has given me few rental properties. I told him I'm not going to give any rental properties for my kids, because giving rental properties to your kids is like signing up, for them to probably go and, spend recklessly in a way, because you don't need to do anything. You just get the money. But yeah, that happens.
All my rich friends who are chilling in life are chilling based on rental income.
Yes. If somebody is really chilling in life and, and having a blast, then without the effort part, then you can be rest assured they would have got the money, because they sold some land which suddenly value became crazy, which happens a lot in Hyderabad and in Delhi. Delhi it's much more rampant than in Hyderabad. Or they're having rental income, because you don't need to do anything. Let's say I'm doing a job, hence I'm getting the money. I'm getting a rent, boss. I don't need to do anything, right? And because somebody has leased the space, I'm going to get that rent, right? So if somebody is really having a blast, it's either of these two. Or maybe these days they could have got some crazy exit from a VC also. That's also totally possible. But the traditional set is this. Yes.
If you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out these curated playlists that we've made especially for you, related to the subject that was spoken about in this clip.